Good morning, students. Welcome to today's class. Today I am going to teach you a poem titled Geography Lesson written by Zulfikar Ghosh. Dear friends, let me tell you first that Zulfikar Ghosh is an Indian origin writer. He has written many beautiful poems, especially the contemporary poems which are meant for establishing peace and harmony in our country. In this particular book, you have a wonderful piece of text or poem written by Zulfikar Ghosh, that is Geography Lesson. As we go through the poem, there we come to know the various things about why our earth has been settled in such a haphazard way. Haphazard way means it seems as if the villages, the cities, they could have been settled in a proper way. The roads could have been made straight. The streets could have been made straight. The houses could have been designed uniformly. Right? So in this way, many more such thinkings comes to our mind. These ideas are really very good, that if we had designed our earth in such a way, it must have looked beautiful. But what is the thing that made the human being settle in such a haphazard way, not in a uniform way, not in a proper way? How will you answer this question? Is there any place where you can go and find this answer? Obviously, the poet says that when you go into the sky, when you sprang into the sky and try to view the world from there, try to view the earth from there, then you get to know the real conditions of the earth. How we all are united, but still have been divided. The higher you go, the better you feel, the more you know. So in this way, the poet has answered many beautiful questions. Okay, it's a wonderful piece of writing. So dear children, so let us move into the poem without any delay. I'm going to read the first stanza for you right now. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear and why the city had developed the way it had. Seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile, there seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned, and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. So, dear students, here you find some new words like sprang. Then we also have a new word like haphazard, inevitability, right? So this some of the words seem to be new for you, right? So I would try to discuss the meaning of these words at first with you, and I hope this would help you understand the poem better. Let us try to first know what is the meaning of sprang. Dear students, the meaning of sprang means to jump. The meaning of sprang is to jump, right? And the meaning of haphazard means in a very, what you can say, not arranged form. Not arranged. Okay? And one more new word, inevitability. This inevitability word has come from inevitable. Inevitable. This is the root word. And what is the meaning of inevitable? Means unavoidable. Unavoidable. Unavoidable means that could not have been avoided. That could not have been avoided. उसको avoid करना मुश्किल था, मतलब that was the need. वो जरूरी था, ऐसा करना जरूरी था, right? तो उस समय में हम यूज करते हैं inevitable. Clear? I hope the meanings are clear. Now let us try to understand this particular stanza. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. Now, the poet says that when he went into the sky, when he jumped into the sky, when he started traveling in the sky, from there he could see the city. Okay, from there he could view the city, he could see the city, why this has been designed in such a haphazard way. Okay, why the city has not been planned properly, why the city looks like that. And there he realizes that there seemed an inevitability. There seemed an inevitability. Here he feels that, here he thinks that यहाँ वो सोचते हैं कि that was unavoidable, means that was necessary to do so. Why it was necessary to do so? Okay, why, what was that necessary element? क्यों ऐसा था? About what on ground that looked haphazard, unplanned, and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. So, when he moves into the sky and tries to view the earth from there, tries to view the city from there, then he comes to know that there he finds that the cities have been settled in a very unplanned way. Unplanned means haphazard way. Okay, the cities have been planned in very haphazard way, and that was inevitable. It could not have been avoided. Why that could not have been avoided, we do not know the answer to that. But perhaps I think, मुझे लगता है कि इंसान ने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मतलब the cities, the districts, the states, the countries will get divided. तो आप कहीं भी बैठ जाओ, wherever you get settled, it doesn't matter to you. आपको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. मुझे लगता है कि जब अर्ली सिविलाइजेशन ने जब अपने अपने सेटलमेंट्स शुरू किए, when they started getting settled on the earth, they had never expected that the land will be divided, the water bodies will be divided, the mountains will be divided among the countries. Okay, and human beings would start fighting for all those things which does not belong to them at all. Okay, इंसान उसी के लिए झगड़ा करेगा जो उसका है ही नहीं, right? So now let us move into the next stanza and try to understand it. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography, that land and water attracted man, was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. Now the jet has, his jet is flying at a height of about 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet means around 3,000 meter above the ground you are flying. So it's a very high place, and from there you can clearly see the entire earth. From there you can clearly see the entire earth. A beautiful view of the earth can be taken from there. Okay, and there it seems as if there are no boundaries. There are no boundaries. The entire earth seems to be a single piece of land. The entire earth seems to be a single house to live in, right? But still, human beings have divided it. Okay? Was clearly delineated when the land and the water attracted man. Here comes to know that when he went 10,000 feet above the ground, when the poet traveled 10,000 feet above the ground, from there he could see what he could see there, two things he got to know. Okay, where had cities where the rivers ran. He found that cities had been settled near the rivers only. Okay, all cities, all major cities, whatever the cities that you can name here, maybe it is Delhi, maybe it is Mumbai, maybe it is Allahabad, maybe it is Kolkata, maybe it is Bengaluru, whatever the cities that you find on the earth, New York, London, wherever you go, from there, from a height of about 10,000 feet, the poet could see that all cities had settled near the water bodies. So now here comes a beautiful point, dear children. You must have been taught by your history teacher in class 6th that the early human beings, they started their settlements near the water bodies, because water is a resource which is very essential for human beings to survive. It not just helps us to drink and survive, but it helps us to grow our crops. It also helps us to feed and grow our cattle. So in many ways the water is important for the human beings, is crucial for the human being. Okay, and from the height of 10,000 feet, there the poet could see, poet आराम से देख सकते थे वो, वहाँ से उनको रियलाइज हो गया कि ये बड़े बड़े जो सिटी हैं, वाई दिस सिटीज हैव बीन सेटल्ड नियर द रिवर्स, क्यों ये सिटी सब नदी के पास ही बनाया गया है, वाई ह्यूमन बींग्स हैव सेटल्ड सिटीज नियर द रिवर्स, वाई नॉट नियर द माउंटेन्स. ओके, तो ये सब वहाँ साफ साफ पता चल रहा था कि बिकॉज द रिवर्स would provide water to them, and keeping the demand, keeping the need, keeping the essence of, water in mind, human beings have developed, have settled their cities, have settled their civilizations near the water bodies only. Okay, so it was clearly seen. That is called the logic of geography. The logic of geography, what is the logic of geography? That human beings, they settle in a place where there is the supply of water, where there is the sufficient water for him to grow crops and you know do the daily activities, right? So that is the logic of geography. Clear? The land and water attracted man. Here, this is the most important line of this particular stanza, that land and water attracted man. Two things attracted the human beings. Vast open land. Human beings have always been attracted towards the nature since birth, since origin, since the inception. ठीक है, since the inception, शुरुआत से ही, inception means शुरुआत से ही. Okay, since inception, since birth, human beings are a part of nature. Human beings is a part of nature, and they cannot move away from nature. वो nature से ज़्यादा दूर नहीं भाग सकता. Okay, nature always attracts it, and especially the nature has lot many things to give to the human beings. But unfortunately, in the 21st century, the human beings are trying to behave like machines. They have forgot the importance, they have forgotten the significance of the nature and its components. But when you go and see the earth from a height of about 10,000 feet, just like the poet, from there you can see that the nature always attracts human beings. If human beings have settled, then they have settled in only two places. Either they have settled near the valley, or they have settled near a river. Okay, it shows that the nature has always attracted man. The landscape has always attracted the human beings, and they have always been very close to the nature. Now let us move to the third stanza and try to appreciate the poem. When the jet rose 6 miles high. Now 6 miles, earlier it was flying at a height of 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is just approximately 3,000 meter. Okay, it is almost around 3000 meter. When the jet rose 6 miles high, okay, 6 miles high. Now even after 10,000 feet, now it has gone 6 miles high. Okay, means 6 miles means it would be approximately around, 6 miles means 6 into 1.6 kilometer. Okay, 6 into 1.6, it means equal to 9.6 kilometer, right? 9.6. When the jet goes 9.6 kilometer above that 10,000 feet, okay, then what more the poet can see from there? Let us try to find it here. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than sand. But it was difficult to understand that the man on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities, and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. Wow, it's a wonderful. This is the masterpiece of writing, my dear children. Here, you see, first of all, in the initially in the first two stanza, the poet told about or talked about the geography and the nature, okay, and the human beings settlement near the rivers and the valley. When it comes to the third stanza, now the poet is trying to, is trying to teach every human being a lesson. And today we are going to get those lessons. You all know that now we are we have locked our hun with, the China, the dragon, okay, in the Ladakh area, in Ladakh Galwan Valley. India and China, they are in a face-to-face mode, and even we have lost 20 or 23 soldiers, okay, during the clash. So why these disputes are there among countries? Is it only India and China? No. If you go to the Middle East also, there you find. In the African countries also, there you find. In American countries also, you find. Wherever you go, there you find, the countries are fighting for borders. The countries are fighting for borders. Clear? They're fighting for land. They're fighting for water. Like, the South China Sea. That's a disputed land. Okay? Today you just go and watch, take a map and there you study. Find, first of all, you locate South China Sea. And then you think, okay, whether it belongs to the nature or it belongs to China or it belongs to some other countries nearby it. You just think for a minute. Okay, whose one is it actually? Who has given this? Has China made the South China Sea? No, not at all. Has India made the Indian Ocean? No, not at all. Okay, has China made the entire world or Ladakh? No, it's not China. Has America built the entire earth? No, it is not at all. It means that, my dear children, if nothing is yours, if nothing has been made by the human beings, then why are the human beings fighting for the land and water which belongs to the nature? Which belongs to the nature. Can't we leave it as it is? क्या हम उसको वो जैसा है वैसे रहने नहीं दे सकते हैं? Obviously we can, my dear children, but unfortunately the greedy human beings have always tried to expand their, area. The greedy human beings always try to expand. They always try to expand their territory. Expand मतलब विस्तृत करना, फैलाना. They always try to expand their territory. Okay, they always try to make themselves powerful. And because of these two reasons, there is restlessness in the countries. There is restlessness in the world only because of these few negligible things which do not belong to them at all. Only because of these two or three things, land and water and mountains, okay, which are which belongs to the nature itself, the countries are fighting among each other. The countries are fighting among each other. So here the poet beautifully says that when the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round. From that height, okay, from around 15,000 feet, from there you can see that the earth was round. Okay, how the earth looks like? It looks like, a, what you can say, spherical bulb. It looks like a spherical bulb. It looks round, and that it had more sea than land. And from there you can see that the sea masses, the area covered by sea, is more than the area covered by the land. Okay, as you all know, 70% of our land, 70% of the earth is covered with water. Okay, and the remaining 30%, it is only land masses. I hope I may be wrong here. I don't know the exact figure of this one. I perhaps believe that about 70% of the earth is covered with water bodies, and that only 30% of the earth is land mass. Is that clear? So here that is what the poet says very beautifully, that from such a height, from a 6 miles high, from there he could view and see that, it had more sea than the land. Means the earth seems to be covered with more water bodies than the land. Now, more what he says, but it was difficult to understand that the man on the earth found. देखो, but it was difficult to understand. What was difficult to understand for the poet? क्या चीज है कि वहां से वो उनको समझ में नहीं आती है? That the man on the earth found. What the man on the earth found? क्या? Causes to hate each other. Causes to hate each other. Means what are the causes because of which we hate our neighbors? We hate the other human beings. We Indians dislike Chinese. The Chinese dislike Indians. The American dislike Chinese. The Chinese dislike Russian. So why? Why does it happen? I don't know. We all are human beings. We all are the products of nature. Nature has given birth to everybody. Nature has created everything for us to enjoy and lead a smooth life over here. As long as we are here on the earth, our time on this planet is temporary. We are not a permanent member. We have come here to play our role only for few months or only for few years. Once our role is over, we will be going back. So nobody belongs to the earth. But still, we have thousands of reasons to fight with each other. We have thousands of causes to destroy one another. We have thousands of reasons to bring restlessness into the society. And that is what the poet could not understand. That is what that makes the poet, in a difficult position. It keeps him in a difficult position. He doesn't know what to say. Okay, he doesn't know what to, what message to give to the humanity, because he also is a part of the human being. He himself is also a human being. Okay, and he must be also a victim of such thinkings. ये जो थिंकिंग्स है वो हर किसी को शिकार बना देती है. एंड वी ऑल बीइंग ह्यूमन बींग्स आर ऑफ द सेम मेंटेलिटी. वी ऑल पोजेस द सेम मेंटेलिटी. हम सब की वही सेम मेंटेलिटी होती है बच्चों. ओके, कि हम एक दूसरे को पसंद नहीं करते हैं. राइट, यू डोंट लाइक योर नेबर्स. आप अपने नेबर्स को पसंद नहीं करते हो. योर नेबर्स डू नॉट टॉक टू यू. आपके नेबर्स आपके से बात नहीं करते. राइट, you can't even afford that the water of your neighbors pass through your house. आपके घर देकर आपको नेबर का पानी भी चला जाता है. then you get angry, then you react. Does the earth belong to you? Does it belong to you? Does it belong to your neighbor? Does it belong to me? No, never. It doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs to the supreme nature only. But still, we have found our causes to fight with each other. And that is what that worries our poet. Clear? Worlds across cities and to kill. We have made worlds across cities. Okay? The nature had gifted us a vast open land to go and settle. The nature has given us open seas to go and explore. But what have we made? Human beings ने क्या कर दिया? Do you understand what the human beings have done? They have made walls. They have made walls across the cities, and the walls are dividing the cities. This is one city, this is another city. Okay, this is a third city, this is a fourth city. Okay, this is a fifth city. In this way, the walls have been constructed to divide the cities. The nature had never divided itself. The nature himself is a single round piece of, place to live in. Right? The nature had gifted the human beings the entire world to go and explore wherever you want, whatever you do, go and just you enjoy that. But do not try to harm it. Do not try to manipulate the nature. But unfortunately, we have started manipulating it. हम लोग उसको मैनिपुलेट करना कोशिश कर रहे हैं. हम उसको अपने हिसाब से छेड़छाड़ कर रहे हैं. We are trying to manipulate it. We are trying to divide it among nations, that this is yours, this is mine, whereas it doesn't belong to us. Okay, जबकि वो हमारा है ही नहीं, but we are trying to divide it among each other. From that height, it was not clear why. Okay, and this construction of walls have divided our cities. The construction of walls have divided the cities, have divided the world, and because of that, we fight with each other. We fight with each other, we quarrel with each other. Many a times we get into fight, many a times we get into, killings of one another. And still, it doesn't matter. It seems fair. फिर भी ये लगता है कि ये सही है. So dear children, this is what is really very, very a bad practice that human beings have developed. And this has been beautifully written by Zulfikar Bose, the Indian poet. Okay, I hope you have understood today's poem and have appreciated it better. Okay, my dear children, I would request you to kindly go through the poem again, read it again, try to learn it by heart. Okay, and the more you go through it, the more you will be able to appreciate this poem better. Now let us try to answer some of the questions over here. Working with the poem, find 3 or 4 phrases in the stanzas 1 and 2 which are likely to occur in a geography lesson. Find 3 or 4 phrases in stanzas 1 and 2 which are likely to occur in a geography lesson. So my dear children, let us come to stanza 1, right? Stanza 1. If you come to stanza 1, can you find some of the things that you will find in the geography lessons? Haphazard, right? Ground, okay? 6-inch, mile, scale, right? So these are unplanned, clear, right? Sky. Okay, so these are some of the phrases that you will always find in your geography lessons, or you will find in the geography books also. Okay, now let us come to question number 2. Seen from the window of an aeroplane, the city appears. How the city looks, how the city appears मतलब दिखता है. Looks का appears का मतलब looks. How the city looks from the window of an aeroplane. When you fly in a jet, how the city looks. As haphazard as on ground, as neat as a map, as necessary, as developed as necessary. Okay, what do you think? As developed as necessary. Okay, as developed as necessary. वो तो है ही, वो haphazard में तो है ही, लेकिन वो इंसान का जरूरी था, जहाँ बस गया, right? as developed as necessary. Clear? Number 3. Which of the following statements are examples of the logic of geography? There are cities where there are rivers. Yes, true. Cities have been settled near the rivers. That is the logic of geography. Cities appear as they are not from 6 miles above the ground. Cities appear as they are not from 6 miles above the ground. The logic of geography. No, this is not a logic of geography. Okay, it's not logic of geography. It is easy to understand why valleys are populated. Yes, it is easy to understand why valleys are populated. Valleys means, dear children, valleys is a place locked between two mountains or hills. And why the places which are settled in such a landlocked area or mountain locked area are more populated? First of all, it gets plenty of rainfall and plenty of water, and water is the most important resource for human beings to settle. Okay, as I told you during the discussion, that water makes a big difference. If water is available in a particular place, then human beings would certainly go and settle there. Okay, because water is necessary for growing crops, water is necessary for rearing the cattle, it is also necessary for drinking and cooking purpose. So keeping the need of water in mind, okay, and in the expectation, with the expectation of a good weather, if you are located at the foothill, definitely the weather would be always very pleasant. So that's why the cities which have been developed in the, or which have been settled in the valleys, are more populated. Okay, clear? So this is also, we can say, that a logic of geography. It is difficult to understand why humans hate and kill one another. The logic of geography. It is not the logic of geography. Okay, the earth is round and it has more sea than sand. Yeah, this is also a logic of geography. From there we can see that the earth looks round, and the earth contains more sea than the land masses. Clear? Mention two things that are clear from the height. Okay, I leave it up to you, right? So that you at least try to find it, my dear children, and try to explore from the poem that what are the two things that are clearly seen from the height. Okay, and what are the two things that are not clearly seen from the height. Okay, so two things you have to mention. Clear? Okay, so with that we have come to the end of this particular chapter. Okay, and I hope you all have enjoyed it. Thank you very much.